And it says we're live. Let's go ahead and find out, shall we? Okay, it looks like ads playing. That's a good sign usually.
Yep, just got the notifications on my devices.
We are live. Awesome. Alright, hello everyone, Ace here, and welcome to the Ace Cast. I'm here with Xerius, sorry.
Hello, beauties.
And today, well, we are going to, of course, be covering some recent news. First, let's get into some of the chat here before we get started. Cool S's says, the game actually looks pretty neat, and I love the interpretation of Grim and of Dark and Grim of 40k in it. But what do you guys think? I say, wait until the game is out. Yeah, we'll be getting to our thoughts on that. Cool S's also says, I don't mind it being Doom 2016. As long as it got something unique about it. Let's hope it's just not the Mastiff. I've been looking forward to Dark Tide, so if Hired Gun is good, that's nice. Fabio Scarizzi says, or Fabio we'll call him, says, finally 40k is getting some new FPS, and it's all been shovelware mobile tactical games for now. Captain Caboose says, last time I was this early for an Ace cast, I was still an adventurer until I took an arrow to the knee. That is quite a ways back. Cool S's says, then returned to Captain Caboose says, then returned to nice house in the countryside with an Argonian maid. Oh, dearie me. Alright, so, would you like to go first, or shall I? Xerius? Xerius, would you like to go first with the story, or shall I? Well, I'm having trouble hearing Xerius. Let's see some more comments. Captain Caboose says, you know it. Teabag, who laughs, says, let's get right into the news, right? Urosocium says, boops the ace until it's 1918. All right. Captain Caboose says, also, it knows Space Marine. Okay. Well, first news, I was going to go. Xerius, are you sure you don't want to go first?
I'm sorry, I missed absolutely everything because my internet decided to derp out.
Okay. So I was going to ask, Brother Olay says, hello, Brother Olay. I was going to ask if you wanted to do story first, or shall I?
You might as well take the show first.
Alright, so first of all, a full disclaimer. The first thing I just want to get right out of the way, this is a teaser that I've saw a few days for a bigger reveal. We'll actually go ahead and let it play. So it's a very short little teaser. But it is from the World War I game series team, the same group that's behind games such as Verdun and Tannenberg. And let's actually give you a quick little analysis of what it is showing. It is showing a mortar. The uniform of the guy that's putting it together is Austro-Hungarian from the uniform. And the particular mortar that is shown here is the 9cm Minenwerfer Model 14. This was an early war mortar used by the Austro-Hungarians, although it did see use throughout the conflict as well. Now, it wasn't a particularly good mortar design. It was known for having a lot of duds, and because it also used gunpowder for the propellant, it tended to give away its position. However, this does actually raise some interesting questions. Because this is an interesting development for the franchise, and it leads to, I would argue, one of three possibilities. Brother Ellis says, was that a cannon being loaded? Well, technically it was a mortar, but you could argue that it was, kind of. Anyways, so there's three theories about what I have as to what this may be, but because, as we've already mentioned, this was an Austro-Hungarian design in use by Austro-Hungarian troops. So first option is this could actually be a new expansion pack for Tannenberg. Oh, and by the way, I've already mentioned this whenever I bring these guys up, but full disclosure, full disclosure, at least one of the devs from the Verdun Tannenberg team actually worked on Battlefield 1918 from way back in the day. But yeah, so just go ahead and full disclosure on that. But with that all out of the way, so there's actually three theories as to what this might be. First theory is that this is a new expansion for Tannenberg, and one of the new features is going to be a new squad type that is equipped to have deployable mortars that they can set up, which would actually be an interesting idea. The other idea, the one I think is probably going to be more likely, and we will know in a few days, is this might actually be in the first we get to see of the third game in the franchise. And this could be the Italian front. Austria-Hungary was, of course, very active fighting the Italians in the Alps. And it makes sense to actually show them off here, setting up mortars and whatnot, because you, of course, when it came to the artillery, you needed to have everything set up nice and proper. You needed to actually carry it around. In fact, let's actually see if I can get some really good footage of... Just show you some Italian front footage, just to show you. I'm sure I saw some old footage of the Italian front in color. Just have a quick look. I forgot to pull this up. Alright, so as you can see in this footage here, these guys often had to climb up huge cliffs and whatnot just to get into position, and this included, as you can see here, the artillery. They had to disassemble it, carry it up by hand, and reassemble it once they were in position because of the sheer difficulties of the terrain. So it makes sense that that would be the first hint that this would be the Italian front. Another alternative is that the third alternative is that this could either be an expansion or a separate game, but this time centered around the Balkans. Captain Caboose says, wait, what does the dev working on Battlefield 1918 have to do with you? Well, I'm part of the Battlefield 1918 development team. That's Captain Caboose. That is the answer. I actually work on the trailers for Battlefield 1918. But yeah, so one of the guys used to work on it way back in the day. I think we're talking 2007, 2008. I think was the last I heard of that. The dev in question working on it before switching to Verdun. But anyways, as I was saying, so the first two options are that it's an expansion pack for Tannenberg, but it's focused on the Russian front. Second option is that it's the Italian front and a brand new game. Third option is that it could still be technically an expansion to Tannenberg of sorts, or also a separate game. But the third option would be that it would be set in the Balkans, between Austria-Hungary and Serbia, with Bulgaria and Montenegro possibly getting thrown in as well. So, anyways, that not too much to really go off of due to what we have available, but the fact that you can actually set up motors like this is actually big news, given the context of the franchise. Xerius, what are your thoughts?
I have no idea. I'll be honest.
Fair enough. All right, Captain Caboose says...
I do not follow Battlefront or Battlefield or any of those kind of games.
All right, fair enough.
So I really can't say much on it.
That's understandable. All right, so some of the comments, Brother Olay says, damn, Mountain Goat Artillery Brigade. Yeah, they actually did, I think, use pack animals sometimes as well to get up the really steep terrain that they were dealing with in the Alps. But it wasn't exactly unheard of for them to have to... In fact, there were even cases where they had to hoist up the pack animals as well. Anyways, so Captain Caboose says, oh, sorry, man, I didn't know. That's okay. Jacob Kennedy says, I'm in hell. I'm sorry to hear that, Jacob Kennedy. Or Associum says, no, Jacob, you are in YouTube, which may or may not be worse depending on the censorship. Yeah, Chaos Raven says, it's Monday, we're all little brain dead, lol. All right, but yeah, that's the...
You know what? That is true. I do not like Mondays, and Mondays do not like me.
Mm.
You know why? Because I had a moth in my coffee first thing this morning.
Ooh. Yeah, that'd do it, all right.
Yep, Mondays. Gotta love Mondays.
Mm. Well, anyways, though, that's the first story I've got on my end. So, Xerius, why don't you take it away with one? A show says, hello, buddy. A show?
Right, so... Doom Eternal's The Ancient Gods, Part 2.
All right, you got a link?
I'm not sure if you've played Doom Eternal or Ancient Gods yet.
I've played Doom Eternal. I have not had the chance to try out Ancient Gods yet, though. But, yeah, go on.
Well, I don't really have any links, as this is basically my live opinions and kind of review
Okay.
on the Ancient Gods in general. And yeah, I don't know if you want like links for some of the cutscenes and stuff I'll mention.
If you want to, it's up to you on that. Brother Olay says, rip and tear. Agreed.
Well,
Cool S's says to Chaos Raven,
rip and tear
That's
until it is done.
Says that's a political statement I can agree with, that Mondays we're all a little brain dead. Yeah, Mondays Mondays can be a little bit rough. Anyways.
So yes. Ancient Gods Part 1. I must say, for the most part, it was relatively enjoyable.
Okay.
Though there were definitely quite a few not nice bits.
Alright. Captain Gaboo says, no, I just bought it, so I guess that means try to avoid spoilers if possible.
Well, I don't know how to talk about it without talking about spoilers, so...
Or Associate says, welcome
close
to
your
spoilers,
ears.
and Fabio says the only thing they fear is demonetization.
Oh god. The one thing worse than the Dark Lord.
Cool S's says Darth Vader is his father. Also, Snape kills Dumbledore. Anyways. Captain Gaboo says I'll mute for a few then. Alright, so go ahead.
Alright, so... And yes, massive spoiler warning.
Okay.
Click off or mute right now. This is my final warning. Alright, here we go. So, Ancient Gods Part 1. First of all, the skin pack you get with it, frickin' beautiful. I don't know if you've seen it, but oh, it's beautiful.
Okay. I have not, but I'll take your word for it on that. Orosocium says Darth Vader is like Genghis Khan. He is everyone's father. Oof.
Ow. Okay, so when you get the Ancient Gods Part 1, you get the Maker skin pack. I'll share an image.
Okay.
Which, yeah, I must say the Maker Slayer is pretty nice. Probably some of my favorite skins. Basically, how it works is you get the basic Maker Slayer, which is this one. And
Mm-hmm.
then as you play, you level up the pack, so you get fresh skins, and you get 3 Slayer skins in total.
Mm-hmm.
And all 3 of them look absolutely beautiful, I must say.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, the story continues almost directly after, well, not really, but kind of directly after Doom Eternal base game.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it, I haven't played it in a few weeks. I'm trying to remember what happened. I mean, I can. Oh, yeah, okay, yes. So you start off in the middle of an ocean on this in this facility,
Mm-hmm.
and typical Doom stuff. There's demons. You're there, and you're killing them. Um, new in terms of gameplay. There's nothing new just yet. I think. Yeah, there's nothing new just yet. But yeah, as you go on, eventually you find the. Oh, and it turns out that the Seraphim's body has been contained in this facility. So eventually you go ahead and somehow get the body.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember how, but you get the body of the Seraphim. And of course, everyone saw this coming. And spoiler warning again, Samuel Hayden was the Seraphim.
That's true. I mean, that's
Wow,
been
big twist. No one saw that coming.
I mean, even CV11 pointed that out way back when his Pro Doom Eternal video came out. So yeah, that was. You're right. Everyone pretty much saw it coming. You're right about that.
Yep. So with the Seraphim now kind of conscious once again, he's like, "You have to go to the blood swamps, and you have to go get the father's orb, life sphere." Also, your new kind of hub, but not really, is a big ship in the ocean, which looks
Mm-hmm.
pretty neat. And you also get this neat little side character, simply called the intern, and he is just adorable. I'm sorry, but he's an absolute cutie. Doomslayer, sir. I've marked it on your HUD and stuff like that. Oh. But yeah. So Seraphim tells Doomslayer, go get the father's life sphere. You can serve the ancient gods once again. Stuff like that. And you should be honored or humbled to be within the Seraphim's presence. Holier than thou stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you get to the blood swamps, and this is where the new one of the new demons comes into place. I don't know if you remember the summoner from Doom 2016.
Vaguely, but
That weird thing that flew around. It was basically the Archvile.
okay.
Yeah, it's kind of back. It's pretty much the same model, except instead of being an Archvile, it's just a spirit that possesses other demons and buffs them. So when they're buffed, they're much tougher. You cannot stun them, you cannot break their weak points, and you cannot freeze them. And you cannot chainsaw them. So basically, oh yeah, and they're faster and stronger. So
Mm.
basically, it's a bit of a pain in the ass when you first meet one. And after you kill it, the only way, well, after you kill the demon, only way you can kill a spirit is with the plasma rifle microwave modification, which, I mean, I suppose it's a fun bit of gameplay. I don't know. It's personally, I find it a bit annoying
Okay.
because you're basically stuck having to microwave this thing to death, and you can't move very quickly, and you've got all kinds of other demons, pretty much around you, meaning you have to try and leave the spirit thing for last, which in some cases is impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, and you also fight a possessed marauder. Yeah. I don't know if you fought the marauder,
Well, of
but
course I fought the Marauders. I know they're not
I've
easy, but
I've pretty much. I mean, I've learned how to deal with marauders, so they're easy
mm-hmm.
for me. But once you buff one, yeah, no, no.
Now I did hear about at the end, towards the end. Apparently, you get to fight two Marauders that get buffed or something.
Oh yes, no, they're not buffed. They're just two marauders.
Well, they do have one that thing there that can get them buffed, though. Maybe it's a difficulty
Not
change
in
thing.
that level, no. No, unless it's a master level I don't know of.
This
I haven't heard of that.
this would be on Ultra Nightmare or something like that. The difficulty. So I guess the difficulty, of course, changes the number of enemies. So it's probably due to a higher difficulty. Yeah. Cool S
I don't know.
says you can stun them with hammer. I do believe you can. But I believe you were.
Yeah, we will get that. We'll get to that soon enough. Just chill.
Okay.
But yeah, possessed marauder, pain in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
So after you've fought your way through what is pretty much trials, you're now on this platform, and you're being hoisted up by this enslaved titan called Malagog, I think it was.
Okay.
I don't remember the name, but it was named. So it picks you up on this platform and brings you up to this area where all the spirit orbs are kept, including the Father and the Dark Lord. And now we are going to go into heavy spoilers. So unless you if you don't want to hear this, say now.
I think they were already expecting spoilers, so the people that were expecting spoilers have already left.
I mean you. Just in case you want to play the DLC blind.
Well, I guess we can avoid. Well, if you're talking about me, I guess we can avoid spoilers if that's okay. But or you could give me a basic overall rundown real quick. Cool Essa says if you kill the purple zombie next to the two marauders, they will get buffed. That's what that's what I heard about. Yeah. Brother Olay says bring it on.
That is only in part 2, however.
Oh, we're still in part 1.
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about part 2.
No. No, I'm just going through part 1 real quick.
Well, as a brief summary will do of part 1 or
All right, well, brief summary, go. Right, so the Slayer is up in this place where there's a bunch of spirit orbs, and apparently the Seraphim is waiting for him there somehow. even though he said he can't travel there earlier on. Okay. Inconsistencies. Let's ignore it. um, so the Seraphim is basically like, yes, get the orb, get the father's orb. And the Slayer walks past him and then takes the father's spirit orb, faces the Seraphim, and the Seraphim's like, yes. And then the Slayer's like, crunch. He just cracked that spirit orb like an egg.
Nice.
So that has the Seraphim upsetty spaghetti. So after that, the Doomslayer takes the Dark Lord's orb and then teleports back to the ship, which makes everyone except the intern run away. Because Dark Lord's spirit orb. Ooh, scary. So yeah, intern is basically the only one helping the Slayer now, so he puts in a portal to go to a portal to go back to Urdak. So the Slayer goes back to Urdak, kills a bunch of demons, and then he has to face the Seraphim in battle. And holy crap, this was genuinely one of the hardest boss fights I've ever played. The first phase isn't that bad, but the second and the third is a pain in the ass. Chords. No.
I had heard
chair.
that part one is actually pretty hard.
Yeah, part one is pretty tricky. But yeah, anyway, so after the holy crap, that was a pain in the ass boss fight that was the Seraphim, right before the Slayer is about to execute him, the father's like, you do not need to kill him, and teleports the Seraphim away. So after that, the Doomslayer goes to this weird room where there's two angel priest thingamajiggums. And basically, he gives them the orb, and the Dark Lord is now here with us in the flesh.
All right.
And so that concludes part one.
So now we get to talk about part two.
Oh yes. Before we do,
okay,
the ending right before the cliffhanger, the father says, "He is you from their world."
All right.
And my first reaction was, "Oh, okay. I was not expecting that."
It does sound like quite the plot twist, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Something wrong?
Yeah, this laptop is being uncooperative right now. What are you doing, laptop?
Anyway, so I'll go ahead and, while you're busy with that, read some of the comments. Orosocium says, spoilers shall not break us. Vittorio Vaglio says, hey, hello, how the live works? It seems to be going well enough. Captain Capoose says, this is what I do while I'm waiting, lol. Orosocium says, eat your spirit orbs, Sonny, they buff you up. Kules says, Seraphim throwing tantrums. Orosocium says, Slayer throwing Seraphim. Coalesces says Seraphim autistic screeching.
Oh god, what is this laptop
Brother.
doing? I'm gonna have to restart the browser real quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Well, Brother Olay
Oh
says
god.
Doom backhand, and Ursosium says Dark Lord is here in the flesh. So communism. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Anyway, so yeah, I've heard that part two. One thing I have heard is that it is noticeably easier than part one. Apparently, part one is exceptionally difficult, even in comparison to Doom Eternal. Now, yeah, but then again, though, James Knighton says, "Hello, guys. Hey, James Knighton. Hope you are having a good day." But yeah, Vittoria Vaglio says, "What do you think of Steam censoring Super Seducer 3?" That I hadn't heard about. Let me actually have a look out of curiosity. Mild curiosity, anyways. We'll find out what this is. Kulesa says, "Greetings." The name like that, Oh, this game! Okay. Oh, apparently... Wait, why are they censoring this game, of all things? I mean, it's Steam. Okay, so it's apparently real people is why they're doing it. It's still... James Knighton says, what it's on the menu for today? Well, for now, we're waiting to figure out if Xerius is going to be coming back. He was talking about the new Doom Eternal expansion. But apparently his browser's been having trouble. But so, okay. So I guess while we wait for Xerius to get back to us, we can have a look at some more news, I guess, on my end of things while we wait. So let's have a look at the new news regarding Age of Empires real quick. There's a fan preview coming out on April the 10th. So yeah, a lot of news, or a lot there just for a teaser of sorts. Xerius, I take it you're back? Xerius, can you hear me? Alright, I guess he's having trouble hearing me, so while we wait on that, I'll just go ahead and...
Wow.
Hey, Xerius.
Frickin' internet today.
So while we were waiting on you, I decided to start on another thing, if that's okay with you, real quick.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right. So, yeah, so the whole Age of Empires fan preview event thing, like I said, that they're advertising, is, well, yeah. It's going to apparently be covering the Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition, Age of Empires 3 Definitive, as well as Age of Empires 4 on April the 10th. Now... what's interesting is this, of course, suggests that we might actually be getting a new expansion or DLC for Age of Empires 2 Definitive, which is actually interesting news because, well, the first one, Lords of the West, I believe, was already getting some positive feedback, but it's also has well, let's just say that Microsoft, for whatever reason, decided to make the two factions, at least at launch, a little bit overpowered. So that was a bit unfortunate. But then again, it was nevertheless getting enough positive feedback that people were wanting more. So I do think this is going to be interesting in that way. I think they might actually, because I know one of the factions I believe people were asking for Age of Empires 2 was Poland, or I believe that's so we might actually see them getting added in or something. Who knows? But nevertheless, the fact that we'll be getting more news on April the 10th for that is interesting. Age of Empires 3 getting more news is also, that one in particular is a surprise, because Age of Empires 3 has gotten not the best reputation, the definitive edition, because they decided to go woke with the third game, censoring a lot of the stuff that was in the original. For example, they actually censored out historical figures like Crazy Horse, and I believe they even censored General George S. Custer. So, amusingly, their way of going woke was to take out the American Indian, yet keep the land. Because that is what woke culture is these days, isn't it? Yes, a derp and a half at that. So, needless to say, the decision... They even had a disclaimer when you first started Age of Empires 3 up, the definitive edition, saying we made all these changes to be culturally sensitive and all that, and it was cringe-inducing. I actually recorded the thing just so everyone could see it. But yeah, Orososium says Age of Empires 3, the new old game that got somewhat censored because fuck it. It's not even the only one either. Commandos 2 got the censorship treatment in its HD remaster, and that's what made that atrocious, among many other things. But of course, Age of Empires 4 is the big thing that a lot of fans have been looking forward to. It's something that I am a little bit cautious of, given what they did to Age of Empires 3. I will say that. So, are you okay there, Xerius? I can hear something in the background.
Oh, crap. I'm sorry.
Cool Esses says, by the way, Cyberpunk 2077 getting the 1.2 patch soon. Yes, we will actually be going through Cyberpunk and my news on, or my thoughts on it. Brother Ole says, hopefully they get to keep the gameplay and mechanics of Age of Empires instead of forcing left-wing ideas with regards to Age of Empires. Yeah, Orososium says, too late, I bet. James Knighton says, Cool S's, improve, you mean apply it to its stability, right? Alfarius says, I have arrived. Welcome, Alfarius. Brett
Hello.
Says to James Knighton, as far as I understood, they fixed the cop AI and a ton of other stuff. Till the patch is out, I can't really say anything. We'll actually be talking about it, because I do actually show some videos of it in play. Or so, CM says, cultural sensitivity is the new meaning of cancer in my dictionary. Yes, me too. Did you guys actually, while we're at it, did you guys hear about the schools in California and what they've actually been doing to make themselves more inclusive? Xerius, did you hear about this?
No, but from what you just said, I think I can already tell what's going to happen.
Oh,
so
boy.
Please do tell.
Actually, it's perfect for talking about Age of Empires 3. So, they actually added in, or they're proposing a new curriculum with chanting of Aztec God who accepts human sacrifice. You cannot make this stuff up.
I'm sorry, what?
They want...
Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah, they want students to praise the Aztec god of human sacrifice in the name of inclusivity. Human sacrifice and cannibalism. Let me see if I can post the link here for you guys. Check.
I'm sorry, my brain just committed suicide for a second there. What?
Yes, California proposes new curriculum on Aztec god honored by human sacrifice.
Wow.
Sacrifice and cannibalism too.
Look, I knew the left were a bunch of ruthless nut jobs, but this is too much even for them.
You remember? Have you ever seen King of the Hill? Have you ever seen the show King of the Hill? Because this reminds me.
I don't
Okay.
think no.
All right, so King of the Hill, funny show. Apparently, thing is, King of the Hill actually predicted this during one of its Thanksgiving episodes, because it had the very naive. It had the very naive Bobby Hill decide to try to promote American Indian history, and so he talks about the tribe of one of the guys that's an American Indian that's at the Thanksgiving event, and he reveals some rather spicy details about said tribe, that they honored their ancestors by killing and eating their elders, and so. That's exactly what this news is from California. They're celebrating that. It's
America, man.
no, not America.
What is going on with
California,
you?
not America. California. Let's get that clear.
I mean, I suppose you're not wrong there. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that actually hurt my brain.
It's insane. It really is insane. But that's the education system in California, apparently. Presumably they're teaching the importance of sacrificing to the sun. They're replacing regular science and theories of general relativity with it, or something.
Oh, of course they are.
I wouldn't, but yeah. So it's absolutely insane, and kind of a weird segue. Admittedly, talking about going from Age of Empires 3 to that, but. My God, is it not fitting because they both went woke in the funniest way possible. AR says donates $2 for super chat. Says Cali is third world compared to the rest of USA. Yes, thank you.
Oof. Okay, that
California
just put everything into perspective.
California has gone so downhill. There's like cities like San Francisco. They now have an app to detect to report human feces on the streets.
Someone was telling me about that today. What the hell?
This is what wokeness looks like. Brother Relay says, "I'm surprised there isn't a real civil war that sparked."
No, seriously.
No comments.
I was in VR chat earlier today, and I was talking to a Californian, and he was telling me about this whole app that this app about human feces in the streets. What? Is this actually real? Why?
You know what someone needs to do, right? Someone needs to download the app. Someone needs to download the app, and whenever they
don't
see,
look at me. Don't look at me.
Hold on. What someone needs to do is someone needs to download the app and just report and if they ever run into Susan Wojcicki, the CEO of YouTube, just report the location to the app.
Oh, ow, that's a spicy one. Oh. Nice. Oh, that's a nice burn. Nice.
Cool S says, build the Attack on Titan wall around California and you guys will be on Mars in no time. Yes, thank you. Rososium says, walls weren't exactly a bad plan in the end, eh? And California revived the fucking plague. What else do you need to know? Agreed. They did do that. Thank you, California. Brother Olay says, brother, get the flamer, the heavy flamer. Alfaria says, we can't expect God to do all of the work. Praise the Lord for we shall punish his wayward children.
I second that.
Coolessa is laughing. Moogle847 asks, so how long till the big earthquake that drowned half of California? I'm asking for a friend. That's the question everyone wants to know.
Soon, hopefully.
But yeah, so anyway, so let's actually get... AR donates $5 to say, it is far worse than Puap to warn they have cases of the plague happening at a frequent rate or gangrene, as well as legions of rats in tent cities. Yeah, I've heard about that. I have heard about that, unfortunately. That's... What are you doing, California? Seriously. And you're right about the plague. And
we went from Florida man to California man.
Orsosium says the Skaven are rising from the underworld. The Skaven can have the Skaven can have California.
No interjections here. No objections here. Go for it.
Maybe we should just offer... Here's what we should do. What we should do is offer California to Best Korea. In exchange that we get South Korea in return. That would be a good trade.
I mean, I suppose.
Krules says, yeah, to Ursosium, yes, damn humans. I like it. All right, but yeah, so let's actually go. You were talking about part 2 now of the expansion. Alfari says California is becoming Sylvania, and AR says I have seen Skaven or Norska in real life over dumpster bag of bagos. Oh God. Brother Relay says California need a very deep clean.
Yeah, yes.
My mind
I think they need
jumped...
a redeemer.
My mind instantly, yes. My mind instantly though jumped to that image of Mr. Clean looking at the asteroid about to hit. Coolessa says that is the law of equivalent exchange.
Okay. Well, anyway.
All right. So
yes. back to the ancient. So yeah, there's an image of the Dark Lord from where part 1 left off.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so part 2 kicks off with literally right where part 1 ends.
Okay.
And of course, typical Slayer being Slayer, he loads his super shotgun, aims it at the Dark Lord, and bang! And then a kind of force field blocks the shot because reasons, I suppose.
Okay.
And pretty much the Dark Lord is like, no, you, and teleports away. So now the Slayer has to try and get to the deepest and most ancient part of Hell and pretty much track down the Dark Lord. After that you go and I don't remember. How do I not remember this? I literally played it yesterday. I don't know. You go somewhere and you start looking for some kind of crystal power source, I think. No. Okay, you go back to Argent Denur, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you pretty much go to get the Sentinel Hammer, or Hellbreaker as it's called. I'm gonna send a gameplay video of it if you want to check it out.
Okay.
I'm gonna say right now, I love it. It is so fun and cheesy.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Just the way the Slayer uses it, it's like, bang. It's like he jumps up, and then comes down with a meteor of a hit.
Mm-hmm.
And the hit will kill any fodder demons and will stun everything else. Except for possessed and buffed demons. And when you use the hammer, every demon will drop ammo, which is very useful. And in general, the hammer is just... Oh, it's just beautiful.
So it does look like it does look like the fact that it gives you ammo. It means that it's another tool aside from the chainsaw for that, which is nice.
Oh no. Internet, Internet, what are you doing? No.
Moogle847 says, since California and Hollywood have become complete shit, let's make a new movie capital of the world in the Midwest states. Maybe. See some of the other comments.
Am I still here for you?
I can still hear you.
Is it laggy?
Not really, no. Brett Werdersheim says to
Okay.
me... sorry, go on.
No. Go on.
So Brett Werdersheim says to me, Florida man here, at least we're entertaining that rather than a sad shithole like Cali. DY is changed the lyrics to Hotel California to Welcome to the Hotel California stand. I like it. AR says, I am very serious. It was 3 noble Norska making a valiant stand being outnumbered by the hundreds. Not surprising. Usually the conflicts are extreme for food in the winter months. How long until California has woolly mammoths with chaos symbols on it? Asking for a friend. Brother Olay says, it's good they haven't merged Wolfenstein and Doom together. Yeah, mostly. I mean, the original lore way back in the day was that they were merged together, but it's kind of split off now, I think. Or Associum says, if you recorded it on video, you must share posterity. Yep. Brother Olay says, Hellbreaker sounds an album cover. Coolest says the hammer sound effect is a joke. It does sound a little silly, I will admit that. The jump is cool though, yep. Brett says the trailer for new Doom DLC very Deus Vult We Crusade 2, but the ending felt very eh. Coolest says Florida man chaotic good, California chaotic evil. Alright, so with that all said, you were saying?
I take offense to that.
To what?
I take offense to that. I like the ending. The ending is nice. Shut up. Shush. Your opinion is not noted. Your opinion is noted and duly ignored. Shush.
I'll reserve my judgment.
I shall not accept such heresy.
I'll reserve my judgment until I see it myself and get a chance to play it. But anyways, you were saying, Xerius?
Yeah. After you get the hammer and have fun times with it. Oh yeah, and there are a couple of new demons. Well, new in quotes. It's pretty much just new gameplay features.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is the Stone Imp, which is a pain in the ass because Sonic Spinny Dash, because that's what we needed in a demon. For some reason.
I heard you can actually take them out now, though, with the shield on the minigun.
I haven't tried that yet. I should try that.
Apparently, it insta-kills.
X to doubt, but I will try it next time I play. Alright. Anyway, so you got the Stone Imps, basically just Sonic the Hedgehogs running around. And then you have the Cursed Prowlers, which wow, they are a bunch of pricks. Basically, what they do is they curse you, which means you can't use any of your abilities. You can't dash. You can't. Okay, you can jump, but you can't use any abilities or dash, or
That is
weapon mods.
that is
And you there is only one way to kill it, and that is with blood punch. So make sure you take that thing down before you go after any other demons, because it will end your run very quickly.
yeah. It sounds that way. I mean, I remember Doom Eternal being much harder originally before you get the dash and all that. So, enemy that takes it away, yeah.
Oh yes. Oh, okay. So aside from that, we now have the chain gunners back, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
They're just called the riot soldiers. Basically, riot enforcement. Dudes with shields and heavy armor, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so they have a very fast firing gun, and they have a shield that is invincible. And pretty much the only way to kill them, unless you're fast enough, is an explosion behind them, which would be a grenade or remote detonate rocket.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much the only easy way to kill them. They're not that much of a pain in the ass, but for me, it slows things down just a little bit.
Mm.
But not by much, but just a little bit.
Okay.
Um, I think that's it for new demons. Yeah, that's it for new demons.
There is the one that also
No.
buffs.
Okay. There is that purple zombie, the screamer thingy,
Mm-hmm.
which it's pretty much a mobile buff. So what happens is when you kill it, it will buff every demon around you,
Mm.
which is not fun, especially when there's two marauders coming for your ass.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Although everything being said, the Ancient Gods Part 2 is actually rather easy, for me anyway. I didn't lose a single extra life at all. I did not die once.
I did hear it was a lot
And
easier
I
now for some reason.
Yeah, it definitely was a lot easier, but it was still fun and enjoyable.
Yeah, that's I heard too.
Yeah, so there's also this new they've pretty much kind of brought back the gore nests from Doom 2016.
Mm-hmm.
When you enter an arena and you have to pull the scrotum out of the big fleshy construction abomination thing.
Mm-hmm.
They have that kind of, except it's called an escalation. Basically, what happens is you rip out one piece, you do the battle, and then you have an option to rip out the second bigger piece,
Mm-hmm.
which gives you an even harder kind of. Oh no.
Apparently, he's having connection issues again, so I guess we will look for something else to talk about in the meantime. So let's actually have a look at that article that someone suggested about Valve refusing to take up Super Seducer 3. Go ahead and just copy that. Put it in the link for you guys to check out. There you go. Alright, so what it says is that Steam is not... it refuses because of the images of real people. Apparently, there was a back and forth. It says... and I changed the game in certain aspects according to advice in order to bid secure release. Okay.
Sorry about that. I
Oh,
was
okay.
pressing buttons.
Okay. Now
But
that's
anyway,
unfortunate.
as I
Okay.
was saying, basically you can do a second harder and bigger battle,
Mm-hmm.
and you get a special, well, a unique skin from it, which
Mm-hmm.
is pretty nice.
All right.
I don't know if there's two or three, but I do remember a few of them. But yeah, so that's one of the new features, which honestly I do like. Anything else?
Do you
In
want?
terms of features and gameplay, that's pretty much it.
Okay. All right. So overall, what are your
So yeah,
thoughts? Overall.
Ancient Gods in general,
Mm-hmm.
is enjoyable. A solid 8 out of 10.
Okay. All right. Well, that sounds promising, and I'll probably.
Um, are we? I'm guessing we're gonna avoid the ending of part two then, unless you're willing to listen to me ramble on how cool I think it is.
I'll. It's sounds like we're going to go into spoiler territory on there. So.
Yes, it is very spoiler heavy. I'll say it now. The ending, I was not really expecting that.
Okay. Well, it does sound.
It is one of those things that you just were not expecting. However, I will say this about the Dark Lord boss battle.
Mm-hmm.
It has a learning curve and a half.
Okay.
The first time I took him on, it took me an hour to get through his first phase. Because you can only stun and hurt him in a very specific way. And if he gets a hit on you with his sword or shield, he will get health back.
Mm. Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, I. Hmm. But I eventually got the hold of the boss battle. However, it still kept getting harder and harder because at first he just summoned one wolf, then he summons two wolves, then he summons two wolves and a hell knight, then he summons a pain elemental,
Mm-hmm.
mancubus, a mm, a dread knight, and a tyrant.
Mm.
So you have to try and avoid. You have to try and take on the Dark Lord while you have these four very powerful demons coming at you at once.
Mm.
That was a pain in the ass, and I am very surprised I did not die during that.
It sounds like it was quite the fight. Yeah. All right. But
Oh yeah,
overall, you said eight
but
out of.
it was very satisfying to just beat him. Victory, yay!
But anyway, so you overall though you said it was 8 out of 10 overall.
Yep, very enjoyable, and part two was definitely my favorite of the two.
All right.
Oh, I didn't mention the skin pack that came with part two.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen it, but it's the barbarian slayer.
Yeah, Conan the Barbarian. I did actually see it.
Oh, I love it. It's beautiful.
It is.
Oh, it's so manly as well. And then some more pics.
Oh dear.
Just look at that. Look how beautiful he is.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and. But yeah. So, anything else you want to cover on it?
What would happen if I sent a video that contained All-Star?
I don't know, and I don't know. Let's see. Brother Olay
All right,
says,
I'll DM you this video, and you can watch it later.
okay. All right.
No, I'll send it in the chat, and then you can watch it later.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. So let's. Ferry says it's perfect. Brother Olay says Conan the Doomslayer, lol. Or Socium says how to make Conan even more badass. Give him a super shooty. Yep. Moogle says Simon
yes,
Belmont says with less clothes. Simon Belmont with less clothes. Yeah, pretty much. Coolesses says I think
yes,
the hammer can kill them easily.
There's
We'll do my Apex daily as listening to you guys. Okay.
there is actually a golden barbarian skin, and you get that by beating Ancient Gods Part 2 in the extra life mode with at least 5 extra lives left. And I am currently, well, I haven't been playing today, but I have been playing to get that golden barbarian skin because I want that. I need it. I need my gold stuff. Oh yes, you also get a gold BFG, which is very nice. I like that.
That does sound nice. All right, so I think we've been on talking about the Doomslayer for a fair bit. So how about if it's all right with you, we.
Oh yeah.
I know some people were
Definitely.
actually wanting to talk about. I'll actually put up the link again in the chat so you can check it out. They're wanting me to talk about Super Seducer 3 getting censored off of Steam.
I have no idea what that is.
It is a pickup. It's an FMV pickup artist game thing. It's a franchise that's been out, and I guess it's got its fans, which fair enough. Not my particular cup of tea, but hey, if you're a fan of it, you're a fan of it. So, all right. But apparently, it has been banned and removed from the store. Even though there's been a lot of people that about 61,000 wish listed it. Apparently, it's because the game, being a pickup artist game, has some explicit images, and because it's an FMV game, it is of real-life people. And Valve did not like that, apparently. Now, as someone else already pointed out in the chat, if it was a case of the actress just didn't want to be in it anymore or something like that, then yeah, it would make sense. But this seems to be Valve acting on its own, and it's kind of it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me because there've already been 2 games in the franchise out on Steam. So I don't see what exactly is supposed to be in the third one that's so bad that it's a no-go. But apparently both Epic Game and GOG also said no, which is something as well. So I don't know what exactly is in the game that is causing these companies to say no. But apparently it's enough that the guy's probably going to have to make his own website or something just to release it. The thing is, Steam already in particular has an adults section of video games, so I don't understand. I get that it's real people, it's actual actresses involved, but unless the actress has changed her mind or something like that or something, I don't understand why it's getting pulled. It seems like a weird one to me. What do you think? Then again, I guess
no idea. All I'm hearing is censorship. Which, as you probably know by now, I am highly against censorship.
Agreed. I think it's really weird that they're doing this. Especially, like I said, since there's already 2 games in the franchise out on Steam. Moogle 8 says the game is a certain film of the video game industry. But yeah, I'd like to find out more about it though, just in case there was something particularly egregious that I just don't know about. But the reasoning from Valve does not seem to be adequate in my opinion. Because, like I said, they've already got... This is supposed to be an FMV game, and, well, yeah. Anyway, so is there something else aside from Doom that you want to cover?
Yes.
Is it a certain video game by chance that is set in Warhammer 40k?
You know me all too well.
I actually was going to have to cover it sooner or later anyways, so let's cover it sooner. Alright everyone, let's actually have a look at the trailer to Necromunda Hired Gun.
I'll let you play it
This
before I
city's
start
warped.
I'll actually go get some water,
Ashes
Sherlock.
are running wild. The Goliaths have gone underground. And something much worse is on the rise. It's damn good for business. Don't take it personally, friend. There are only 3 things I trust in this life. The money, my Mastiff, and my autogun. When it comes to hunting marks in the Hive City, there's only one thing you need to know. The house always wins.
Alright, so
we still watch it. Oh, okay.
So it's just ended. Apparently it's coming out June the 1st. As you can tell, you're going to be playing as a bounty hunter in the Warhammer 40k world of Necromunda. And it also, as you could probably notice, it is made by Struman. You guys are...
Oh, yeah.
Struman is, of course, known for 2 games already. I Divine Cybermancy being the first one, which is glorious, and Space Hulk Deathwing, which is okay. But yeah.
It's alright.
But still, this one is showing promise. It actually reminds me a little bit of Star Wars Bounty Hunter of all things. Even though there's a lot of changes in the movement and all that, and the fact that Bounty Hunter is a third-person game, but still, the basic overall premise. Brother Ole says, Necromunda Bounty Hunter. Yep. Brother Ole says, talking about 40k, have you heard about Uriel Ventris? Have you heard of...
Oh, that poor model. Oh, it's ugly.
Orosocium says...
They actually had to get the head repainted because the first time was so hideous.
Okay, I have to look this up on my own just to see how terrible it is. Alferi says...
Hold on, I think I have an image. Let me see if I can find it.
It can't be as bad.
I gotta have it here somewhere. I have it here somewhere.
It can't be as big of an affront to 40k as something like, say, Marnius Cringegar ripping the head off of a Lord of Skulls in one go, but...
I have no idea how long ago this was, so... How long ago was... Oh, here it is! I found it!
Okay.
Before and after comparison.
What's wrong with his head? What? Okay.
Oh, no,
I
actually
have a
looking at it
question.
now, it's a completely... Okay, so I'm only just noticing now that it's a different sculpt. So they actually had to redesign the whole head.
Okay. I've got a question.
Oh.
Who let Bubba
Oh.
from Redneck Rampage become a space marine? Seriously, that's what it looks like. It looks like Bubba from Redneck Rampage.
It does. I'm gonna have a heart attack.
And if he's a space marine, does that mean that Leonard is a space marine too?
Oh. Oh.
Alfarius says there is no thinning the pains. Orososium says, welcome to space inbreeding. Brother Ole says, they turned him into a Primaris. All is lost.
They turn everyone into a Primaris. How are you surprised at this point?
Alfarius says, I is janktastic. I is a little bit janky. Actually, I is very janky, but I is still awesome. I is love. I is life. All I'm going to say is, Mandalore said it best when he said, full auto and fuller auto. AR says they needed Duncan back painting faces for them again. Brother Ole says he is no longer in Astartes. The model on the left is to Warhammer 40k models what Matt Ward is to Warhammer 40k writing.
Oh man. But yeah, that's not even the only problem I have with it. I don't know if you've seen his feet, his boots,
Oh dear,
but
what
they
have
are
done?
weird.
Okay, I don't know, and given what I've seen already, I don't want to know.
So you know how some rectangular shaped kind of angular boots are they're shaped with like sometimes there's a slant going inside, you know, towards the middle of the body, and a down slope going to the right.
Okay.
Like the right foot will have an upper slope to the left and a slant to the right. This guy's boots is the complete opposite.
Ah, okay. That does sound like they screwed up again,
And
yeah.
it bothers me. It's basic. Actually, it almost looks exactly like the Contemptor Dreadnought feet, but mirrored, like completely opposite in terms of direction. So it looks like he's wearing a left foot on his right foot and a right foot on his left foot.
Maybe he got confused? I don't know. Brother Ole says...
have you seen his original... I mean, with his original face, that makes a lot of sense.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Brother Ole says he is no longer in Astartes. I loved the books Uriel is in and wanted a model of him, but not this. Yeah, I feel you there. But let's
I
get.
do not know who he is, and I have zero interest in learning about more Ultramarines.
All right. Well, but getting back to Necromunda Hired Gun, what are your thoughts ultimately on it?
Based off of the trailer, I don't know about the gameplay. It doesn't feel 40k ish to me. It to me it feels more like Titanfall than
It
a 40k game.
it does look like Titanfall a little bit, yeah. Then again, though, it does look
Also,
promising to me at least. But sorry, you were saying.
at the end of the trailer when the Amble was charging the player,
Hmm.
to me that also looked very derpy. Let me see if I can get the trailer.
Are you sure that's an amble?
Ambot.
Ambot. Yeah, I thought I was about to say.
I get I get the names confused.
Well, to be fair, this is once again streamed. They are a very small studio, so, and this does seem to be reveal trailers. So, although admittedly, the game is coming out not too far away, so I suppose there is some reason to be concerned, I guess. But we only saw it for a brief moment, so I don't know.
I'm just gonna rewatch the trailer again, see if I can figure out what exactly was wrong with that Ambot.
Orsosium says, we need more Necromunda. We need more good Necromunda. Quilessa says he looks like a legendary skin for Apex Legends Crypto. Okay. Alright.
So looking at the guns again, they feel way too small and modern for 40k. Especially for Necromunda, because Necromunda was one of the most over-the-top game systems. With some, I mean, half of them have freaking mohawks.
Yeah.
But yeah, to me, the weapons don't feel big and bulky enough. They feel like XCOM guns. Guns from XCOM 2. They feel like that instead of 40k guns.
I guess this is one of those cases.
Except XCOM 2 was pretty good.
This is one of those cases where I guess we'll have to wait and see what it looks like once we get to start playing it. But yeah, I do think the gameplay at least looks fun though. But
I mean, it could be fun.
All right, well, so I think we've both said our piece on that. So how would you? Okay, so I do believe someone though was wanting to know about something else, and that being the new patch coming for Cyberpunk.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, so I got to the part where the Ambot is rushing the player.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it feels way too stiff. Like the animation just feels. I don't want to say amateurish, but wow, it's stiff. Like all they animated was the legs and a little bit of torso tilt.
Yeah, I saw. Well, sometimes the animation can be a little bit work in progress, admittedly.
Yeah. We'll definitely have to wait and see for the release game.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, based off the trailer right now, it feels very derpy. That Ambot, anyway.
A little bit.
Also, when are we gonna get Dark Tide? I want Dark Tide.
Alright. But let's actually move on to something else a little bit that people were wanting to know about. The new Cyberpunk 2077 patch, which got recently announced. Have you seen the actual patch?
I'm gonna be honest, I have no interest in Cyberpunk 2077.
Alright, well, fair enough. But Well, let's go on to this because people have been wanting me to cover it, and it is news that is coming soon. They actually decided to do it in universe, which is an interesting way to do a patch notes, I will admit. Although this is probably an incomplete look at the patch rather than a complete look. I'm hoping, but they are doing gameplay changes.
What?
What? What do you mean? What?
Okay, so not you said they're making the patch known in universe?
Yeah, the patch notes are in
That
universe.
got me confused for a second.
It's in universe, as in it's being
What?
delivered. Well, yeah, it's being delivered to us by a news reporter. Is the idea from the Cyberpunk universe? It's a cute little idea, but one of the new changes is they are changing out a little bit how the wanted system works. So I'll go ahead and play the video. Basically, if you know how in Cyberpunk one of the problems that people have complained about is that the cops just instantly appear right behind you. That does kind of... Well, now they have drones that show up first to analyze the area, and then the cops will start approaching the area as well later on. The whole idea being that it slightly lowers the response time of the cops. And basically, so it's not as immersion breaking the way the old system was. I'm not entirely sure that is quite enough, but this could be an incomplete list of the changes. There's also some changes to how the vehicles handle, which they actually do a side-by-side. And again, gameplay changes have actually been one of the things that a lot of people have been arguing would actually be necessary for Cyberpunk with the 1.2 patch. And I've actually kind of been in that crowd myself. I do think they still need to obviously do bug fixing, but gameplay improvements are also going to be kind of necessary, in my opinion, as well. So as you can see, the vehicle handling is noticeably better in the 1.2 patch in comparison to the existing version of it. And there's also a new mechanic that allows you to get your vehicle unstuck by rocking it around or something if it gets stuck. So you see how your vehicle can get stuck and just be stuck like that in the current version, but in the new version, it'll actually, after a certain point, it will start to move and cause it to do that. So to get your vehicle unstuck. So that could be a potentially useful idea. And then there's a small other change as well. The big question, is this enough? I don't know. I think I personally would still want there to be more for the 1.2 patch, given that it's been delayed till late March, given also that we've been told this is going to be the bigger patch before we start seeing other updates down the line. So I'll admit I'm hoping for more than just this, but it is a decent start right now. The big question is obviously if they're going to do patches or not as well. And that is a really important question, as well as if there's going to be any other gameplay updates. Because the Cyberpunk 2077, I do believe, needs some tweaking. It does seem like, while I do defend the writing in the game and the way the storytelling is handled, I will say that the game does have what feels like placeholder mechanics. The aforementioned wanted system being a good example. Anyways, but well, I would ask you your thoughts, but you said you don't particularly care either way, right?
I mean, what you've mentioned so far, I suppose it'll depend on what the people think. I mean, so far, I mean, look, I definitely wasn't expecting much from Cyberpunk 2077. It's unrealistic to put that many high expectations on something, no matter how long it's been in development for or who has been working on it. I keep my expectations neutral. Well, nowadays I do. A couple of weeks ago, that was a different story. but yeah, it depends on what the people think.
Mm.
Will they like it? Will they think it was too little too late? Who knows?
It's been getting mixed reactions, I understand. And by mixed, I mean genuinely mixed. Some people seem to like it, some people don't. I'm not entirely sure on the percentages on it, but it does seem to be getting genuinely mixed reactions. Brother Olay says, will it work this time? Let's find. I guess we'll have to find out. Hidden Boss says, I washed my hands of this game and CD Projekt Red. Or Associum says, they promised the world, and as almost every time that happened, the world imploded. They had a lot of placeholders in the gameplay, and that caused the gameplay to suffer, sure. As I've said, though, the things that they do actually do right in Cyberpunk 2077, they did. The things that are done right in Cyberpunk 2077 are done exceptionally right. The problem is the things that aren't done right are middle of the road a lot of times. Anyways, so let's see here. Hidden Boss says, yeah, I kept my expectation to the lower end of mid, and they still went lower. That's unfortunate. Anyways, so... But I think that's all that needs to be said about that, really. Just really to wait till the patch ultimately comes out, and we'll be able to try it out. Is there another story
Indeed.
that you would like to cover, Xerius?
I
I only got one more thing on my end. So.
I don't believe so. Hold on, I want to check the poll real quick.
I think we know which...
Oh man.
What?
Yeah. Unfortunately so.
What?
I still don't understand why people voted the Woke Republic over Skullduggery Pleasant. Why do people want us to read that? Do they want us to suffer?
A little bit.
I want to read something actually good, damn it.
Well, I think the idea is that me and Osmogon were going to end up reading the whole High Republic thing. Because I recall you didn't actually want to read it, so...
Oh, yeah. I don't really want to touch that.
Did you hear about how bad the regular High Republic comic went? There's actually 2 High Republic comics, by the way. 2 entire series. Not 2 issues. 2 entire series of High Republic comics now.
Wow.
What?
Wow, okay. They have that much already?
Yeah, there's 2 comic book series going on side by side right now. There's the regular High Republic and High Republic Adventures. And me and Osmogon have actually been reading both.
Let me guess. Adventures is cringe.
It is very cringe. To the level of untrained Force adept is able to hold up an entire asteroid with the Force. Levels of cringe.
Oh, okay, so Ray.
Yes. Speaking of which, they actually did a sneak peek of a Rey comic in it as well, where they gave Rey.
Oh God, no!
They gave Rey an NPC face. They drew her with an NPC
You have to show
face.
me that face. Do you have that face? I need that face. Show me that face.
Okay, let me see if I can pull it up real quick. I'll just go ahead and try finding the link here on Google real quick to the High Republic comic.
Oh, God. The last thing I want from Star Wars is a special a little special series just for the little specialist.
Did you hear that they actually also, in the regular High Republic, made the Jedi the villains?
Of course they did. I already knew that.
You want to know how they did it?
I might have an idea, but go and shoot.
I want to hear your idea, actually. You've got me curious. I want to
Oh,
see if it's.
I am horrible at explaining my ideas, so I'm not even gonna try.
No, no, really. You're not gonna believe it. So I just want to hear what your idea is before I completely destroy even those low expectations.
Let me guess. The repressive pricks.
Kinda, but it's even worse than that. Are you ready?
To be expected. Yeah, go for it.
They actually, to test out the main character, the new Padawan, to see if she's worthy of becoming a Jedi Knight, they sent a swarm They sent a swarm of space locusts, which, or as some people have actually called it, a discount Tyranid hive fleet, essentially, to a. By the way, I put the thing in the chat so you can actually see where they gave Rey the NPC face. But yeah, they sent in a what is essentially a discount Tyranid hive fleet to a world just to put it in danger, specifically to see if the Padawan could save said planet. So if she failed, the entire planet would be destroyed. Are you laughing at that or the Rey NPC face? Is it the Rey NPC face?
Yes. Why are her arms so short?
So yeah, it's the NPC face. All right. iLoser says Youngling Destroyer 9000 for the win. Crazy Crumb Cake says, holy hell, he is laughing so hard his soul is leaving his body. Yeah, he's laughing because he saw Rey's soul leave her body because the artist drew her an NPC face. Orosovicium says, gives back pats there. Brother Ole says he sees it.
I see it. I do not want to see it. I cannot unsee it.
AR says, I will never buy a Star Wars comic because of that face. Honestly, this face alone, I could make so many memes out of. I've been thinking of doing a shorts video somehow where I put the meme face in. So that seems like perfect material.
Oh, my entire body is numb.
Moogle847 asks, how is it that I'm...
I think my soul actually momentarily left my body for a sec. And there...
Wow, Rey's face was so bad she gave you an out-of-body experience. That's actually impressive. Orosocium says Star Wars was once great. Then they brought it down, dragged it through the mud, and crucified it. Moogle847 says, how is it that I'm more interested in the disinterested bear birds in the background? Because it's Rey. Because it's Rey. Although, you want to know what the sad part is? In the few pages of the preview we got from this, she actually has more character development than in the entire sequel trilogy. Scratch that.
Please, no.
She actually has character development of some sort.
Stay away from me. Keep that away from me.
Crazy Crumb Cake says, well, at least they're making her closer to her personality. Yes, they are. Brother Olay says, I wonder if that is the autopilot characters for the Star Wars movie now, or for Star Wars now. Cool Essa says, I won an Apex. Nice, congratulations. But alright, so iLoser says, nice. So what were we talking about again? Star Wars High Republic?
Yeah, you were going on about how the Jedi were evil now.
Yeah,
I already you already mentioned that whole putting a whole planet at risk thing. So I already knew about that.
Yeah, but that's still, yeah. I'm not going to be forgetting that anytime soon. Hidden Boss says maybe we should move on to something better now. Let's do that. In fact, there's a brand new trailer for Ready or Not, which I believe I've already shown you guys the first trailer for it. But let's go ahead and have a look at the new trailer, see what you guys think. I already actually sent a link to Zero, so let's go check it out.
Peggy 16.
What was Ready or Not again?
Entry team, you're clear.
Ready or Not is the SWAT team simulator game, basically.
Oh, that. Okay. I thought it was that. All right. Well, let me pull it up.
Hands up now!
Help! Please, help me!
Door ram is ready, sir. Copy that, entry team. Go when ready. Drop the gun!
So, the big news is that they've actually gotten themselves a publisher in the form of Team 17 of all people. Xerius, are you familiar with Team 17? I am, but...
I don't believe so.
Okay. Team 17 used to be known for, and they still kind of are known for the Worms franchise of all things, but they've more recently gotten into making games like... They've gotten into making games into tactical shooters of all things by making games such as Hell Let Loose. And Hell Let Loose is actually pretty good from what I've seen. In fact, it's really good for a World War II tactical shooter, so it is... I do think it is a good publisher for this game. Of all the publishers they could have went with, this is a pretty good one, I think. Cool S says, damn, Ready or Not is really looking nice. Yes, it is. Mugul says, I've seen low-res, low-poly game character models that looked better than Rey's face in regards to the Rey NPC. iLoser says, for life and light! Brother Olay says, does that game look familiar to an older game, SWAT? Yes, it is basically a spiritual successor to SWAT 3 and SWAT 4. One of the guys, I know that the dev team that worked on this before that worked on, and it still is to an extent working on the SWAT 4 Elite Force mod. So this does seem to be their particular bread and butter as well. Crazy Crumb Cake says, Disney should start a winery for making Sargon's old Star Wars videos age so well. Man, never thought they could make the Jedi evil so quickly. Yeah, it is genuinely impressive, isn't it? We've went one
Nice.
issue into the High Republic, and I ended up having to say that Emperor Palpatine did nothing wrong. Because if we're at the point where the Jedi are sacrificing or endangering entire planets just to test a Padawan, then maybe Order 66 was a morally good decision. But yeah. But ultimately, so the news, like I said, just dropped today regarding Ready or Not. And them getting a publisher, of all the publishers they could have gotten, this is one of the better ones in my opinion. So this is actually somewhat promising. I do like this trailer, so we'll see how it turns out. Hopefully the game continues to be good. I have been playing, like I said, I've been playing the pre-alpha. I'm currently under NDA, but I've been enjoying it, we'll say. But let's see. I don't believe there's anything new, so I think that will about do it. We've been at it for 104 minutes, apparently. I think this is a good time to stop it. Is there any additional thoughts that you have, Xerius?
Yes.
Okay.
I am liking the look of this game. Honestly, I'm starting to fall in love with how it looks so far.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that just looked pretty. I might just get this game whenever I can. Maybe. I'll see what happens when it comes out.
I know it's gonna have co-op.
But so far it looks. So far it looks nice. It looks good. I'm liking the look of it.
Agreed. Mogul847 says, "Damn it, Ace! As soon as I saw the blood splatter on the floor of the trailer, all I could think of was Harvester's she committed suicide scene." Oh dear. Do you know what I know what he's talking about, but do you know what he's talking about, Xerius?
I don't think so.
You're gonna love this. Alright, so...
Oh god.
It's from an old game called Harvester, which was a notoriously graphic FMV horror game from way back in the day, but it had some cutscenes in it that were so over the top they ended up becoming hilarious, and one of the most famous ones, in my opinion, is Death by Natural Causes. I'll just send you the link right now through the chat. Brother Ole says, Adeptus Arbites mod later? Good question. Judge Dredd mod, and I am in Consortium. I like the idea of a Judge Dredd mod. All right, so the video's up. The video's up, and you
this game definitely needs mod support because we need that.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, but yeah.
Stupid ad.
Are you trying to look up the video I sent on chat?
Oh, this.
Yeah, this.
Okay, yeah. This.
All right, so do you have any other thoughts on the... Crazy Crumble Cake says, Jedi, quote, VR training simulation? Nah, screw that. Let's just put a planet in jeopardy. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't even think the Sith, at least as far as the current official lore is concerned, I don't even think the Sith have ever used a planet, have ever deliberately put a planet in jeopardy just to train one of their initiates. It's insane. But, alright, so is there anything else you want to cover, Ozma? Or no, Xerius?
Sorry, I was distracted by that video.
That's okay.
Oh, it's ridiculous. What are we talking about now?
I was asking if there was anything else you'd like to cover.
No, not really.
All right. Well, I think it's a good time to call it then. So, yeah, this has been Ace.
This has been Xerius.
And we hope to see you all again soon for the next one, which will probably be the Warhammer 40k comic we'll be reading. So, until then, see you again and take care. Ace out.
Have a good day.